And here we are. We are live. Okay. At least I think we are. Waiting for it to pop up here on... People are saying there he is. Okay. So maybe I need to refresh it on my tablet. And there it is. Okay. Hey, everybody. Woo. This has been a rather interesting last 15 minutes. In the last 15 minutes, I did a little bit of planning for the show here tonight. I also ate dinner in about 10 minutes. So, yeah, a little disheveled, but it is what it is. Softball game ran late tonight and then was actually canceled. So, yeah, what are you going to do? So we got... everybody hear me okay and everything? We're good to go on audio, video, and all that? I just want to get one confirmation of audio, and then I will move forward. Okay, somebody asked about softball, so obviously you heard that. No, I don't play softball. Our 16-year-old plays softball. She had a game tonight. It was supposed to start at 6. I was going to be there in plenty of time, and then they decided to do it an hour early, which meant I was not going to be there in time. So I came home to get ready for this, and then the game went late. They ended up canceling it. It was a whole thing. So at least I got home literally like 15 minutes ago with dinner. McDonald's, of course. You know, I mean, she worked hard to make dinner tonight. But anyway, folks, we've got so much to talk about tonight. I am not going to ignore the chat tonight. I don't know how many people are glad about that. I don't know how many people are thinking, oh Lord, here we go. If he's going to watch the chat, this is going to be all over the place. But the reason why I'm going to do that is because today it's just kind of an open discussion. We got a whole lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of really, really cool things to talk about. And so I'm not even going to mess around. I'm going to get right into it. Let's talk about, first of all, some new members. I want to thank some new members right off the bat. And I don't know if I'm going to say these people's names right or not. But within the last week, we had 4 new members. Marie Giles, I think, just joined today. Allie Patton, Catwalk Rabbitry. That's a great name. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And Rymax Cichlids, who has been a member in the past, and maybe something happened and he stopped being a member and decided to become a member again, or he just renewed or something. I don't know. If you're wondering what this whole membership thing means, I'm seeing it on here refreshing, but on here it says I am still live. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully it's not going to be jumping all around tonight. Membership allows you to receive special little perks, little things. I'm not going to go all into it because I don't want to be all a commercial about becoming See, when I pay attention to the chat, we have Duke City Aquariums right now decided to become a member. So very, very cool. It does cost money. It's not something that anybody's required to do. Everything in this channel is free. Of course it is, because YouTube is free. If you become a member, you are entitled to special perks, like your name's going to be green in the chat. You're going to get the little fishies next to your chat, and you get next to your name, and you're also going to get emojis, which I will probably tinker with here soon. But I got so much stuff going on, and a lot of that is going to be talked about today. Of course, we have to mention some sad news today, which would be the passing of Mr. Peter Mayhew. I'm 44 years old, which means I remember when the original Star Wars came out. I remember seeing Empire Strikes Back in the theaters and Return of the Jedi. I remember losing sleep waiting for Return of the Jedi. If you're not familiar with Peter Mayhew, this is the man that played Chewbacca. So if you're a Star Wars fan, of course you are a fan of Peter Mayhew. Passed today. I don't know anything about it. As far as what it was, I'm sure he was a pretty old gentleman. And he's like 7 feet tall. But I don't know what it was that took him, but it's unfortunate that we lost him. Now, the next thing on my notes to talk about is just one of the best guys in the world, Mr. Paul Martin. And it's so fitting that while I'm sitting here about to talk about him being a good guy, he gives a $10 super chat. I mean, the guy's out of control. I don't know what I ever did to this guy to make him so generous with us, but he's one of those few people out there that has my address. We've got to be wary of people sending SWAT teams to our houses and stuff like that. But I've known Paul Martin for a long time. I got home yesterday from work. There's a box sitting on my desk. I don't know what it is. Who's this from? Oh, Paul Martin has done it again. 2 things were in this box. One of them, a little small for me. Tank Talk flip-flops. Are you joking? Is this real? Tank Talk flip-flops. Now, they're a little small, about the size of my hand. I could wear flip-flops on my hand. It came with these. I got to stick them in there. I haven't done it yet. But Tank Talk flip-flops. Are you kidding me? And, of course, you see right there, maybe in a little bit, I'll grab it and bring it up closer to you. That is a piece of slate that the Tank Talk logo is put onto. How cool is that? And it came with a little stand and everything. Awesome. Unbelievable. I don't know what I ever did to deserve this guy, but, hey, there's a lot of people like Candy Overhauls and Kevin Green and a lot of others that I'm sure I'm missing. There's so many people right now that have helped us for no reason other than to just be helpful. And I'm so appreciative of that. I don't know what I've ever done to deserve it, but yeah, it makes me feel good to know that people are out there. I'm kind of a recluse. I don't do a whole lot. I'm here. I'm at work. So I'm not one of those people that's very social going out there. I'm not an anti-social person, but I just don't get out much. These are my friends. All of you are my friends. And to know that there are people like these people out there, it blows my mind every single day. Never seen either one of them in person. Paul Martin came in with the $10 super chat saying, celebrate your almost 100K achievement just a bit early. Congrats to you both, John and Lisa. Can't wait to be part of the future of viewers along for the ride. And then we had Miss Candy Overhauls, another one. Here's to 100K sub. Yeah, that's coming, folks. It's coming so much faster than we ever anticipated. Let me get you the actual live count right now on TubeBuddy. And of course, because I'm streaming, it's going to want to run slow. 99,673. It's happening. It's happening fast. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am for that. I know you hear YouTubers talk about that. You hear them thanking and thank you, it's all because of you and all of that. And I know it comes across as cheesy and corny, but you have to understand how true it is. You've got a guy in King George, Virginia, that I just keep fish, and we were breeding fish and started to sell fish and stuff like that and make videos about our fish. And now all of a sudden we're about to achieve a milestone that I never thought would happen. I remember having conversations with YouTubers way, way back in the day saying, I don't think there's 100,000 viewers of fish videos on YouTube. I just can't imagine that. And now here it is. I'm about to hit that milestone. It's absolutely crazy. And the one that I said that to is well over 1 million now. I think you know who I'm talking about. It's absolutely nuts. It blows my mind. I can't even say any more about it. You're going to have a silver play button plaque on the wall. Oh, you better believe I will. You should give away a 500-gallon acrylic. That'd be nice. We're going to talk about something similar to that here in a little bit, but not giving it away. But unbelievable. I mean, and now here we go. See, if this keeps happening, I'm not going to be able to get farther along with this conversation. Aaron, I'm sorry, Aaron. I love you. Thank you for the $5.49 Canadian super chat. I don't know how you say your last name, so I'm not going to botch that. Thank you for the super chat. That is very generous of you. All right, let's do this here. Let's talk, and then Duke City Aquariums too. See, this is what happens when I watch the chat. Sorry for the appearance tonight. This is due for a dyeing, don't you think? Good God, look how gray it is. Starting to look like Ben Ochart on here. I love Ben too. He knows I'm messing with him. Couple of things to talk about here real quick. And then cheers to your new play button. Yeah, thank you, Duke City Aquariums. I'm obsessed over that silver play button. I see Corey's and Joey's. I don't even see that anymore. Why? Because he's got the gold one now, because he's a big timer. It's just one of those things I've always been obsessed with. I obsess over something else that's silver that we're also going to talk about later on today. If you know anything about me, you know exactly what that's going to be. Am I going to get the opportunity to do what I'm planning on doing today? Or are these people just going to keep giving me money? I mean, it's like I'm running a telethon here. Jose Fernandez, do fish really need lighting? I don't know that it's as critical as some may make it out to be, but yes, they do. I mean, in nature, they're going to have lighting. The higher up they go, the more they're going to have. I definitely do think it is good for their psyche, if that makes sense. If they're in the dark all the time, they're going to be reclusive. They're going to be unhappy. I think they're going to be sad all the time. And I do think as far as pigmentation and stuff like that, I do think it's important. I don't know any of the science behind it. I'm just a guy sitting here talking about aquariums, but that's my opinion on it. So take that for what it's worth. And my good friends King and Queen Cichlids, congrats on 100K. Simply amazing. Well done, sir. Thank both you and Jose for the $10 super chats. Unbelievable. This is starting off real good here, folks. Pretty happy about the way things are going. You don't ask people for money, but they just give you money. And it's a beautiful thing. How many videos have you done? That is a good reason why you're almost 100K. 400. It's like 400. This is probably like 405 that I've done. You're one person that I think of when I feel too sick to upload. I do it anyway. Yeah, that's good. I mean, so much of growing on YouTube is the grind. I mean, wasn't Corey's channel called the YouTube Grind first, and then he changed it to Mabu Studios, and now it's like Aquarium Co-op Clips or something like that. His other channel, yeah, it's so true. I mean, it is about the grind, and that grind will get to you too. Trust me on that. But you got to stick with it. Sometimes maybe taking a little break, like I did. My good friend Sean Peck is getting ready to do, I think. I don't know if he's decided against that or not, but yeah, there you go. Somebody said arowana. Yeah, you guessed it. Wait, there's 2 different play buttons? No, there's 3. There is silver, gold. Silver is 100,000. Gold is 1 million. Joey's the only one of us that has that. And then diamond, which is 10 million. There's not very many of those, but yeah, there's a diamond play button, and it's not a real diamond, but it's like a big giant. Instead of the little YouTube arrow, it looks like a diamond. It's really, really cool. Type in Casey Neistat diamond play button, and you will see a video that he did. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Very, very cool. Where he actually gets his and he cuts it in half, and it's pretty neat. And he does that with the people from the What's Inside channel, which I love. Father and son do those videos together. It's really, really cool. Fish Tank Barn, thank you for the $5 super chat. And thank you for the congrats. And I think I saw a new member come in here. I want to thank that person. And Allie Patton, after becoming a member today, he says, for Dollar Shave Club. Yeah, I have razors. It's been a crazy week. And you're going to know why my week has been crazy in just a minute. And weekend and everything has been crazy. I'm behind on my videos. It's crazy. But I have very good reasons for it. And we also have another new member today. This might be my favorite stream I've ever done. Robin Royer. I'm going to say Royer. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. And I'm probably wrong, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Welcome to the team here. And then, okay, we got one more super chat. And then I'm going to get into this, folks, because I could be here all night just thanking people for giving me money for no reason. Chad Krotz, a very, very frequent contributor to the channel, just wanted to buy a thank you from your fine mods, KG Tropicals. I got started with my fish keeping journey watching your first aquarium series. I sincerely appreciate your insight. That is exactly why I did it, and that means a lot. There was another YouTuber who I will not name made fun of me for that series. Like, why are you doing that? You could do so much more. Why are you doing these beginners things? And that's exactly why, is for what Chad Krotz just said. That's why I did it. That's why the You Ought to Know videos that have been coming out recently, it's going to change, I promise, because we're pretty much through it. But a lot of the videos have seemed kind of repetitive, kind of over and over again, talking about the same things. It's because not everybody watches every single one of my videos, folks. Some people happen upon one because they're wondering about cleaning an aquarium, over cleaning an aquarium, or maybe they're wondering about adding new fish to the aquarium. And that's what those videos are for, is those people that are looking for information, they happen upon that. And maybe that's the thing that gets them to happen upon my channel and then become followers of the KG Tropicals little world that we have here. So that's what it's for, is to help the newbie. There are so many YouTubers out there doing wonderful, wonderful things. But most of them, and this is completely natural. I'm not, what am I trying to say? I'm not criticizing these other channels. I'm simply saying what happens to a lot of YouTubers is they get the content that they're doing is based on the level that they're at. And so if they've been keeping fish for 15 years, they're going to talk about stuff that a 15-year veteran of fish keeping would talk about. Whereas I've been keeping fish for more than half my life, but I feel like I like to help the newbies. And so there, I could go on and on and on about this, but thank you, Chad. It means a lot that you said that, and that's exactly why I did it. So those are not gray hair. Those are California blonde. I have to tell that to my friend Ben. Ben's a good-looking man, and, I will not criticize him for having gray hair. I would let mine go gray, but when you have gray and then your hairline is all the way back to here, it's kind of embarrassing to have like two things. Not only is it gray, but it's also 3/4 of the way back on his head. So yeah, I dyed this. Try to get that rocker look, But I don't go real dark. It's not like I'm going to go Marilyn Manson black or something like that. But anyway, okay. A couple of quick things here, and then we're going to get into the title of this video. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before I get a comment on the replay. You people that are here watching right now, you beautiful people, are not going to complain about this because you're here for the live experience. But there's going to be people in the replay that are going to complain. When are you going to talk about building a fish room? We're going to talk about that in a minute. I want to talk about something exciting for you, the viewers of this channel. I'm going to ask you 2 questions today. One of them is a trivia question about me, and the other is going to be I'm going to play a movie clip. This is going to be fun. I hope it works. I'm going to play a movie clip. What? Movie clip. And I'm going to need somebody to tell me what movie it is from. It contains a bad word, but it's a PG-13 word. It's not an F-bomb or anything like that. So if you have children in the room, if they're watching, don't panic. It's fine. We're not going to do that one till later anyway. The first one that we're going to do is Superman died in Endgame. Yeah, he did. That was real sad to see that. Hey, don't anybody give Endgame spoilers in this. Everybody knows Superman died in Endgame. But I'm going to ask 2 trivia questions. And if you are the first person to answer the question in the chat, and it's the correct answer, you're going to win something. What are you going to win? Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. Lisa and I have been talking about what we are going to talk about later on in just a couple minutes. Don't worry. We've been talking about this for a while, and one of the things that we were talking about doing was, it's not an Endgame clip, don't worry. We were talking about a little project that we were going to do for her. I'm not going to go into detail of what that project is, but it involved a bunch of tanks, a bunch of small tanks, a bunch of 5-gallon tanks. Y'all can try to figure out what the project was. It may still happen. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll see what happens. But I started looking around at what I wanted to get. And I remembered that I had a relationship with the good people over at Zis Aqua. Now, you probably don't know this. And this could probably be the trivia question that I could have given you. As far as I know, wow, I could be wrong. But as far as I know, I'm pretty sure I'm the first person that did a Zis Aqua video on YouTube. Again, I could be wrong, but I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but you've never even had those, the moving bed filter, in-tank filters. You've never even had those. What are you talking about? I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about egg tumblers that were really nice, really fancy. We still have quite a few of them. They sent us like 12 of those things back in like 2013. You can look for the videos. Zis Aqua egg tumbler. It was awesome. And we didn't know anything about these people. They sent us an email. We got this really cool egg tumbler we want to send you, and maybe you can talk about it in one of your videos. I said, okay. So they sent them to me. I did the video on it. It was awesome. They have sent me stuff after that, but they actually asked me not to do videos on them because they were like prototypes. They were in beta testing. But then they came out with these moving bed bubble bio filters. And so I messaged them and I said, hey, doing a project with 5-gallon tanks, will your filters fit in there? And they said, yeah, no problem. And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. They look kind of big to me. So I messaged Corey. I said, hey, doing a project, 5-gallon tanks. Are those Zis filters going to work? He said, no, they're way too big. I said, okay. Well, so the Zis Aqua people messaged me back and they said, how many do you want? And I said, wait a minute. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I appreciate it. But these are going to be way too big for what we're doing. If we were using big 20-gallon tanks or something like that, then it would be different. But we're using very small tanks, and they're just not going to work in there. And they said, well, we're going to send you some anyway. We don't care. We want to send you a gift, is what they said. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to tell anybody not to send me something. So they ended up, I got it like 2 days later, and I think they shipped from Korea. Let's see here. Yeah, Korea Post. They sent me the filters. They didn't send me 2 of them. 27 of them. I think 18 of these or 7, I don't know. 16 of these and 11 of these or something. I'm not sure. The bigger ones, we have more of the bigger ones than the smaller ones. They sent a whole bunch of them. I told them I don't need them, but they sent them anyway, like a whole case of them. The box is right here. It's really big. I'm actually using it. I've got a pillow on top, and that's where my dogs sleep while I'm in here. But they're not in here right now because they'd be driving me crazy. So I'm going to give these away. Not all of them. I'm going to keep some for myself. I'm going to give a few of them away. Maybe over the next few weeks, I'll give 2 away in each video, in each stream. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question. One of them is going to be a question that only true followers of KG Tropicals is going to know the answer to. And the other is going to be only a true movie nerd like this guy is going to know, because I'm going to pick a deep cut from a movie. This is for today. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. But for today, I'm going to play a clip from a movie. It is 2 seconds long. And whoever tells me what movie that's from is going to win one of these. But the first one, that's later, because we need to get to where we're at PG-13 land. It's a little later for that. But this first one, very simple, very easy. Any progress on the Lemon Oscars, John? You wait, Jake. You just wait. Just a little patience here. We're going to start talking about this right after I do this. All right. So, what's your vector, Victor? Everybody knows that's airplane. Come on. You can't beat me. The trivia question. It's not trivia. In order for... Who cares? The question that only the true KG Tropicals followers would know the answer to, or the followers that watched the live stream last week would know the answer to. Who is responsible for setting Lisa and I up? That's all it is. Whoever is the first person to answer that is going to win one of these. And what it's going to be is you can choose which one you want. You have to live in the United States. I'm sorry, should have said that before, but you have to win in the United States. You have to be in the United States. I will ship this out to you, whichever one you want. You want the big one? Fine. You want the small one? Fine too. Whichever one. So, ooh, there it is. Okay, O'Neill Johnson, you were close. And I'm sorry to say your name and tease you thinking that you might have been the winner. I'm sorry you're not, but it's very close. It was not her sister. It was my sister. Lisa doesn't have a sister. It was my sister that introduced us, which means Bill Ramey, you are the winner, my friend. And so what you have to do, there's no way for me to do this other than, and Candy, I'm going to send you one too. So, because it's Candy, folks, come on. I mean, she does so much for me. I'm going to do something for her. The dogs. I got to see some of these answers. Deborah, brother. No, I'm not sure what that. I have a sister named Deborah, so that's kind of weird. But a lot of people answered it. Mom, sister. A lot of people got it. This is nice. Lisa's son. That's a good answer, Ruth, but it's not right. I did know her son and one of her daughters before I knew her, but no, he didn't introduce us. I mean, he was like 13. He didn't care. But let's see. Her brother, nope. Close. The Cosmos. Oh, that's funny. All right. So I hope you all heard I said the first person. I didn't say whoever answers the question properly. So you can all stop now. But Bill Ramey was the first one to get it in there. Let me make sure. I hope I'm saying your name right. Ramey. So Bill, email me, kgtropicals@gmail.com. Please don't anybody else email begging for these filters. Please. I mean, I've come on. But you email me, Bill, and give me your address, and I will ship whichever size you want. And Candy, I don't have your address anymore, so I'm going to need to get that from you. Dan Gavioli answered it correctly and did it with a super chat, which is brilliant. Thank you for the super chat. But unfortunately, if I was to make you the winner, I would get in so much trouble because then you'd be buying the win and all of that. So can't do that. So yeah. All right. So let's get into this. I gotta have a vape here real quick. Check the score. Doolittle's up. We went to the Nats game on Sunday. Lisa's son took us just out of the blue. He said, I'm going to take you to a Nats game. So the three of us went. We sat behind home plate. We were up high, but it was the best seats we've ever had. And for the first time, I don't know how many baseball games I've been to. I've been to a ton. For the first time in my life, going to a game, being there live, it was a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 11th inning. I got to see a walk-off home run. That was a beautiful thing. Matt Adams, by the way. So, what's the difference between the two? They're different sizes. They'll handle different amounts. It does not say on here. And if they were going to ask me for any criticisms, I would probably say it would be a good idea to have the suggested tank sizes on here. But they don't have that on here. So you got big, you got small. That's they're the exact same filter. They're just different sizes. So, all right. The next one is coming up. So just be patient. And we will do the next giveaway later on. And, yeah, sure. It's a ploy to keep the numbers up. Of course. I mean, I don't know why I'm coughing so much right now. Whew. Yeah, last weekend was amazing. It was Endgame, and then it was the Nats game on Sunday, walk-off home run. I mean, it was a great weekend. So, okay. let's talk about this fish room. The people who are watching this on replay are finally like, okay, it's about time. My God, nobody cares about your stupid baseball game that you went to. So, if you are a follower of KG Tropicals, if you've watched my live streams before I stopped live streaming, if you've watched my videos, you know that we have been talking for a while about setting up a fish room here in the house. The funny thing about it is, if you go way back, not that far back, but if you go back to September 23rd was my first live stream back on YouTube. I said in there, this tank, I'm just going to set up this tank, just this one. It's 175 gallon tank. That's all I need. By the way, John's World, I'm going to talk about Endgame at the end of the stream tonight. Not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to talk about that because I feel like I need some therapy to talk about that. But I told you in that live stream, this was the only tank I'm going to have. It's one tank. That's all I need. I needed to get my fix. I don't have anywhere to set up my big tanks. So this one's going to have to do. And that lasted about a week before I set up that one. And then I set up that one. And yes, that is all of the Happy Meal toys from McDonald's. What do you think? You think I wasn't going to get those? Wasn't much longer after that. We got that as a gift from Chris Lukup. We won this one at the Aquatic Experience, same event. It got completely crazy. And we knew then, started preliminary talks then about setting up a fish room. One of the problems that we had, though, is her son is living with us. Him, his fiance, their newborn child. He's 3 months old. Is he still a newborn? He's not a toddler. Infant? I guess he's an infant now. I don't know when you graduate from newborn to infant, but anyway, they're down there. They don't have a timetable of when they have to go. They can be down there as long as they need to be down there. Both coming home, both former Marines. They both served this country. They both got out of the Marine Corps at the same time. They came home to start fresh. Probably makes sense for them to not have to worry about rent or a mortgage right off the bat. So they're in the basement, and who knows how long they're going to be there. So I read one of the things in the chat, and now I'm all discombobulated. What an idiot. The problem is that our basement is really big. I mean, it's like 16 to 1,800 square feet. I'm not 100% sure. Wide open. It's one big room. It's like a big L. I don't know what's wrong with me today. That's what I needed to do. I needed to have that big cough, and then I was okay. It's like a big L, the basement, and it's all finished. Ceramic tile floor, brand new. Everything's brand new. They actually finished this before we moved into it. They finished the basement. So if they weren't living here, that's exactly where we would be doing this. But they're here. And what we had said before was, we're just going to wait whenever they go. If it's 2 years from now, who knows? Once they move out and get their own place, that's when we will set up the fish room. Well, we don't want to wait anymore. We are not going to wait that much longer. I can't stop coughing. I don't know what my problem is. Everybody's like, stop vaping. So we started thinking about the garage. We've done fish rooms in the garage before. It worked very, very well. So we started thinking about this garage. Well, the garage is freshly painted. Not that that really matters. It's a finished garage, so it doesn't have the stud walls and stuff like that. It's finished with drywall. 3 of the walls are insulated. There's a window. There's 2 doors, 2 garage doors, but they are not insulated. No big deal. We'll have to insulate that. That's it. It's a perfect room. It's a 2-car garage. I have to cough again. Getting old sucks. It's wonderful when this kind of thing happens when you're live on YouTube. It's great. Next thing's going to be a heart attack. I shouldn't have said that, but it'll get 1 million views if it happens. So we started talking about the garage. Back and forth. We would talk about it every once in a while, but it wasn't like a real hot button thing. It was one of those things that was like, it'd be nice to do that. But then we started getting into it a little bit more. We started thinking about it more. And the plans started happening, and it really started to get processed, and we really started to get serious about it. And then we started to talk about, okay, well, if we're going to do this, what are we going to do with all of the junk that's in the garage now? The garage is supposed to be my spot, right? I mean, I'm a man. I can remember back in the day when I was a kid, you didn't go in the garage unless Dad told you to. It's not like that anymore. That's supposed to be my room, but everything gets thrown in there. Everything gets, it's junk, it's trash, it's bicycles, it's kayaks, it's lawnmowers, it's tools, and an empty 240-gallon tank. So it's complete chaos in there right now. So that is the first hurdle. So we say, okay, well, we're going to have to get a shed. We're going to have to put up a shed, and then we can take all the stuff out, put them in there, clear the garage out, we'll be good. We're walking around our yard. We have about 3/4 of an acre. We're on a corner lot, perfectly flat yard. And my neighbor comes out. We're out looking around, trying to figure out the right spot for the shed. My neighbor comes over. We've gotten to know him. We've been here about a year. He comes over. He says, hey, what are y'all doing? I said, well, we're thinking about getting one of those resin kits, those resin sheds to put up in the yard here so that we can put fish tanks in the garage. He's like, oh, really? He said, what are you thinking about getting? And I told him, well, they have one that is a 8x10. It's a resin one at Home Depot. It's nice. It looks good. Put it together in a weekend. Not a big deal. And he's like, well, I have one of those. So if you want, you can use mine. It's sitting in a pile in the backyard. I don't know where it came from with him. I'm going to be coughing again here soon. Everybody's talking about fast food. I have a McDonald's problem. It's true. And now that they have these end game things, it's a real problem. But I just go in there and I'm like, hey, which ones do you have? And I buy them. Tonight, Lisa brought me Black Widow and Hawkeye. Anyway, so he said, yeah, we've already got one of these. I've got one. It's taken down. It's in my backyard. You can use that. Why not? It's only 6x8, but it's free, so might as well. That is when everything really started to process. That's when we really started to go, okay, this can actually happen. We can put this shed out there, put the lawn stuff in there, take the rest of the storage stuff, put that down in the basement in the storage room. We'll be good to go. Garage will be wide open. So as we, I need a cough button like the radio has. So I forgot to take my sleeping pills and it's 9:40. I'm going to take sleeping pills on live YouTube. So we start talking about it. Gets really serious. If you can't tell, my mind races all over the place. I have to take sleeping pills, otherwise I won't sleep. Start charging the kids rent. Now, I mean, we're not trying to rush them out. We're just waiting for them to talk about how lucky they are. We haven't gotten that yet. But anyway, no, we're not going to charge them rent. Walmart brand IFG, just cheap stuff. They work. So, yeah, I am falling apart over there. So I told Lisa, I said, all right, look, if we're going to do this, YouTube has really become a completely different thing than what we were expecting. When I came back from my break from YouTube, I didn't have any expectations. I said, I want to do it just for fun. I want to be a part of the community again. It'll be a good time. But for some reason, the YouTube channel started to grow very rapidly and things started happening at a very fast pace. And it's like, what's happening here? I don't understand why this is growing so fast. 313 people watching me cough. Soon you're going to see my eyes pop out of my head. I don't know what the problem is. I said, we're getting ready to hit a pretty big milestone that we never thought we would ever achieve. The YouTube channel, because a lot of people are watching now, is actually producing a little bit of money. It's not anything to go retire on or buy a vacation home with, but there's money. So we ought to take advantage of that. And we ought to... Great, now I'm coughing. Oh, sorry, Dan. Jeez. So we ought to go to the next level with this. Let's do what I've been wanting to do for quite a while, which is let's get the monster tank. Let's go big. Let's do the big one. Let's go all in with a giant tank. And to my surprise, Lisa said, whatever, just do it. Where's the 50,000 YouTube tattoo? We're going to talk about that in a minute. It doesn't exist. But anyway, that was right when I kind of went on my break. So he's going to do his Beaker impression. You make me laugh, I'm going to cough. Okay. Whew. Wow. This is not easy. So she kind of gave me the green light. She didn't give me the green light to just spend as much money as I want. I mean, we don't have money at all. I mean, we're just normal people that happen to be making a couple extra dollars on YouTube. So, but she kind of did give me the green light. So I said, okay, well, let me get on the old computer and let me start messaging my people. People are saying, where did 12,000 gallons come from? Wow, I wish. No, my name's not Predatory Fins. Isn't that the name? That was an awesome video. That's an awesome channel. No, we're not going to go that crazy. But I messaged Ted Judy. If you don't know who Ted Judy is, he is the social media director, social media and marketing director, whatever, for CustomAquariums.com. I am a retailer for Custom Aquariums. The big tank that I have now, the 240 gallon, is from Custom Aquariums. If you want to buy a Custom Aquariums tank, you can actually buy it through me, and I'll get a commission off of it. It's not a affiliate thing. It's not like, okay, go to their website and put in this promo code. It's not like that. It's actually, you and I will work together, and I will basically act as the salesperson in the deal, and I will actually be the one ordering your tank for you. So, sold a few of them. It's worked out really well, and I'm very grateful for that. So I got a hold of Ted Judy. We start talking. Wow, it sounds like I have real bad asthma and stuff. I'm falling apart here. Making the biggest announcement I've made since coming back from my break, and I can't even speak. So I'm talking to Ted. I've gotten to know Ted a little bit over the last couple of years. We're going back and forth, and I told him what I ultimately wanted. I said I want an arowana tank. That's what I want. Ultimately, 10-footer, minimum 8-footer, but 10-footer would be like, that's the holy grail tank. Well, and then we started talking about price, and that was a little bit out of control. But he said, not that they're overly expensive, but I mean, I'm limited here. So you can hear me wheezing. I know. I'm breathing like somebody that's asthmatic or has emphysema or something. It's not even funny. I should probably just cut this off and stop embarrassing myself. But yeah. We're going back and forth. Probably a week. And then he says, you know what? I have an idea. We have a tank sitting in our warehouse right now. This tank is ready to go. It's already built. Stand's already built. Everything's done. It's ready. And I said, well, what's wrong with it? I mean, if it's sitting in your warehouse, did somebody return it? Or they just decided they didn't want it anymore? Or somebody bail on you? He said, nope. Get some water. I'm okay. I just need to, I appreciate your concern, Allie, but it's okay. Need mouth to mouth. Where's the pink thing? I actually have a chair blocking the door so that nobody can open it. There's doors that go into this garage, the office, but you don't have to turn the knob. You just push them open, and my dogs will push them open. So I have to put a chair up against it so that they don't do that. So Lisa couldn't even come in here and save me. Anyway, I said, well, tell me about this tank. He said, well, it's not 10 feet, but it is 8 feet. It's an 8 foot long, 3 foot deep, 2 foot tall tank. And I sat there for a second and thought, how perfect is that? I mean, sure, 10 foot would be, I mean, that's the holy grail. But an 8 foot tank, 3 feet deep, if you're new to aquariums, whenever we say deep, we're talking about front to back. We talk about height is up and down. 3 feet deep, 2 feet tall, 8 feet long. I said, that is the Arowana tank. I mean, that is perfect. I have had an 8 foot tank before. It was 8 by 2 by 2. It's in a bunch of my old videos. You can go watch it. If you go and watch, I think it was the second video I did on my entire channel, or maybe the third, I don't know. You will see the 8 foot tank in there, and guess what's in it? 2 silver Arowanas. That's what I bought the tank for. Those Arowanas died. It was heartbreaking. I lost my mind, and we actually turned it into an African cichlid tank, which was fine. And then you can see that tank in multiple videos on this channel going way back in the day. But then when we shut the shop down, we went ahead and sold that tank too. It was depressing, but the tank, is the fish in the tank behind you okay? As far as I know. Which tank? I mean, they're chasing each other around a little bit. Something. Okay. Anyway, so we've had an 8 foot tank before. My Arowanas got to almost 30 inches. Monsters. I mean, they were huge. And it was the most excited I've ever been about an aquarium in my life that I owned. There is something about Arowanas, folks. I mean, it is the fish that brought me to this hobby. Not African cichlids. I know that's kind of how I made my name on YouTube. Not discus, not anything like that. Arowanas are the fish that brought me into this hobby. I'm going to do a lot of videos about what we're talking about here tonight. So you'll get more in-depth storytelling in those videos. But that's the fish that I walk into the fish store or the pet store, not interested in fish at all. I see that fish, all of a sudden I want a fish tank. That's what those fish did for me. So I have had Arowanas in an 8 foot tank before. It worked beautifully. And this one I think will work even better because of the 3 foot depth. Arowanas, somebody mentioned Giardini Arowana. No, we're talking about silver Arowanas, the big ones. Giardinis are mean, but they're really cool looking. I almost bought an all black one time, but I didn't. Anyway, with an Arowana, one of the best things about that fish is when it's going and it folds in half and turns around. I could watch them do that all day long. If you think about, a lot of people have Arowanas in like 6 foot tanks that are 18 inches deep. I'm not calling these people bad people. They're not. I mean, that's better than having them in a 4 foot tank for sure. And an Arowana can get a really, really good size in a 6 foot tank. But if you think about it, a 125 gallon isn't it 18 inches deep? It's no deeper than these 75s. So it's kind of a tight thing. If they get to 2 feet in a 6 foot tank, it's going to be hard for them to make that U-turn, and they're going to be kind of constricted in there. But you add another 1.5 feet to the back of that, forget about it. They can go diagonal. They can go all over the place. To me, it's the perfect tank. I guess about the only thing that could make it better would be if it was 10 feet long. But come on, there's only so much room in the budget. So when they said, we have this tank, it's perfect, you know, it's all set up, it's ready to go. And they offered me a deal on it, folks, that it's once in a lifetime thing. That's all I'm going to say. It is not a deal that I could pass up, ever. No way. if I passed it up, I would have not ever slept again because I would have been like, it's right there. So that tank is coming here, and it's going to be here in 3 to 4 weeks. You're going to see it all on videos, everything about it. And I'm going to break it up into a lot of videos. We're going to do a video of us going to get the fish for it, the arowanas. That is, unless somebody like doing this, it's kind of weird because people will hear me talk about this, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, hey, I have this fish store. I have arowanas. I have a website. Maybe you can give me some publicity. I'll send you some fish. It happens. It happens all the time. If you have a YouTube channel, it'll happen to you too. Someday, maybe not right away, but it will end up happening. By the way, I need lights. So, unless something like that happens, we have a plan of where we would buy them. It's a store about 2 hours away. We'd just go up there, take you with us, go up there, get the fish, and bring them back home. Now, here's the other thing. Whew. I can't wait till this is over to where I can just breathe normal. God. But I'm having fun with you. We're not only going to set up that tank in the garage. Obviously not. Everything that you see in here except for Lou. Every tank that's in here except for Lou. That's Lou. Wow. I will never be good at this. I'm going to keep Lou in here with me because we have nice talks late at night. And he doesn't really argue with me all that much. He's pretty easy to get along with. So I'm going to keep Lou in there with me. And yeah, other than that, everything else is going to go out. The 275s are going to go out there. All of the nanos are going to go out there. And all the other tanks that Lisa has in this house set up all over the house, they're going to go out there too. Except for if you watched our latest episode of 10 Things, at the end when Lisa did her long thing at the end, which I thought was awesome, the tank that we show in front of the window, that's actually a tank in my living room. We've got one of those on either side of our TV. They're Aqueon column tanks. And it looks pretty cool. One on either side of the TV. Those are going to stay where they're at because they look cool there. But other than that, everything else is going out into the garage. Plus our two 125-gallon tanks and the 240. So in a nutshell, we're going to have a 240-gallon, two 125s, two 75s, a buttload of smaller nano tanks, and the big one. I've heard 350 gallons. I've heard 385 gallons. I've heard 410 gallons. I'm pretty sure Custom Aquariums sells that particular tank as a 400-gallon model. But I don't think it's actually 400 gallons. I think it is... yeah, Lisa's talking now, so I can take some breaths. She's probably going to come down here like, do I need to give you mouth-to-mouth? Not on live YouTube, folks. But, so all of that is going to go out there. And sure, there'll be room to add more. The idea with this fish room is for it to not be a fish room. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going to try to make it make sense. When I think of a fish room, I don't automatically picture Dean's fish room, which is like a hospital. It's like immaculate. You could eat off the floor in there. That's not typical. The typical fish room would be like our garage that we had back in the day, which it was nice, but it was a working fish room. We were breeding. We were raising fish. We were hatching brine shrimp. We were doing all of that in there. We were working in there. We're not going to be working in here other than maintaining the tanks, obviously. What I want is more of a lounge feel. I said this last week at the end of the stream last week. Joey Stoll Gallery. That's such a brilliant name for what he has. And that's kind of, it makes total sense because that's what I'm talking about. It's not, I don't think you, even if Joey never called his a gallery, I don't think you would call that a fish room. It's more like a showcase of aquariums. I don't know what we're going to call ours. Obviously, we're not going to call it gallery. I don't know if we're going to call it fish. I don't know. We'll just probably call it the garage. I don't know what we're going to call it, but I don't want to, it's not one of those scenarios where we're going to cram as many tanks in there as possible. I don't want that. I want it to be a streamlined, nice, laid back, beautiful display of aquariums. That's what I'm looking for there. So it's going to be specifically aquariums around the perimeter of the room. Nothing's going to go down the center because I want to have kind of a scenario like Rachel has where she can put her recliner right there in the middle of her fish room and she can just spin around and look at all of her tanks. Kind of want that kind of a scenario. I do not want to have to turn sideways to go through here and then bend down so you don't hit your head on that pipe. No, I don't want that. So I don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe we can talk about that in a future live stream. I don't know. But what I'm going for is more of a laid back lounge kind of a thing. We might even put a couch out there. I don't know. But that's what I'm going for. Somewhere where we could go out there and just hang out and enjoy ourselves and not have to worry if we drip water on the floor because it's a garage. So that's going to definitely, make it a little easier out there too. A little bit more enjoyable. It is definitely in here. Our house, except for the basement, the entire house is hardwood floors, which is great, but it's not great for fish tanks because you're always worried. Oh no, it's going to leak on the floor. So being out there and not having to worry about it is a beautiful thing. So that's the scoop, folks. Like I said, everything about this project is going to be documented on video, multiple videos. You're going to see it all. Trust me. We are actually going to end up having to go down to pick the tank up. They're not going to be able to bring it to our house because it's so big. They have kind of a limit. The shipper that they use has a limit of what they can bring to your house. So they're going to actually take it down to a warehouse in Richmond, Virginia. We're going to have to drive down there and get it. I don't know how we're going to do that. We have to figure it out. Maybe we'll just rent a U-Haul or something. I don't know. But got a few weeks to figure that out. And oh, by the way, we talked about the arowanas, but we didn't talk about anything else. So do you remember a bit ago, I started talking and somebody asked about it in this stream. We talked about Oscars. Not tea with lemon, John. How funny. Look at that. So we talked about Oscars. And I had said back then, I would love to take our 240 and just put like 6 Oscars in there. And that be it. Well, that was still the plan. And in fact, it had changed from 6 Oscars to 6 lemon Oscars. I said, you know what? Lemon Oscars, one of my absolute favorite fish. Oscars are one of my favorite fish, but lemons, whew, they're unbelievable. It's not going to be the wet room. Oh, woman. So that was still the plan, was to put lemon Oscars, 6 of them, in the 240. But then I had this kind of a moment. Why wouldn't I put arowanas or Oscars in with the arowanas? Maybe not 6 of them, maybe 3. 2 arowanas, 3 Oscars? Why not? How perfect is that? And oh yes, you cannot have an 8x3x2 tank and not put stingrays in there. You can't do it. It's against the rules. You have to put that tank, those fish, in the tank that size. You have to do it. So yeah, the idea is, because I'm not rich, I can't get black diamonds, 2 silver arowanas, 3 lemon Oscars, 2 Matoro stingrays. That's the plan for that tank. But that leaves the 240 wide open. No idea what we're going to do in there. Not a clue. We haven't even really talked about it. I told Lisa yesterday, why wouldn't we just put the Oscars in with the arowanas? And she was like, yeah, that makes sense. And the conversation didn't go any farther. So don't know what we're going to do in the 240. Let's be real. She's going to be the one that decides what we do in the 240. But the other thing is these fish right here are going to go in one of the 125s. And here's another little bit of information. I've got 2 Fluval 407s on the way here. I'm going to put those on these tanks. I'm going to let them get all good and dirty so that I can take the FX4 and the FX6 off of these, put them on the 125s, get them going right away. So that's going to happen. These fish are going to go in the 125, in one of the 125s. This tank is going to stay exactly like it is right now. So we're going to have a free 125. The 240 is going to be free, and this 75 is going to be open. I don't know what we're going to do in any of them. Lisa has said the discus word. We'll have to see. Those are a little, that's a... I love my discus, trust me, but that's a little pricey. And we're putting a lot of money out for all this stuff. So we're going to have to figure all of that out. But that's a good problem to have. To have a 240 gallon, a 125, and a 75, and no idea what you're going to put in them, I can think of worse problems to have. Okay, so before I die, let me try this here. So the way I'm going to do this, because I haven't figured out any other way of doing it on the OBS, we're going to do the next giveaway now. And what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to take this over here. The numbers went down to 293. Oh, there's like 30 people left. They're going to miss out on their chance to get one of these filters. So if you just signed on to the live stream, if you don't know what's going on, I've got 2 of these Zis Aqua filters that we're going to give away right here. I've already done one. We're going to give away the other one right now. I've actually got a lot more than 2. If you are the winner, you can pick whichever size you want, the big one or the small one. I think everybody's going to probably take the big ones. But the only rules are you have to be a United States citizen. You have to be in the United States. I can't ship them overseas. I'm not rich, and I don't have the permits to do all that. So you have to be in the United States, and you have to be the first person to answer me this question. It's not a question. I am going to play a movie clip. It's a PG-13 clip. It's got a bad word in it. It's got the B word in it. It's not that bad. The clip is 2 seconds long. It's very quick. People that are true movie fanatics like me are going to hear this, and they're going to know right away what movie this is from. If you are the first person, and only the first person, to put the name of this movie in the comment section of this chat right now, you will win one of these Zis Aqua moving bed filter things. Okay? I'm going to turn the microphone towards the computer so that you can hear it better. I am going to turn the volume all the way up. It's not Game of Thrones. That's not a movie. We'll talk about Game of Thrones in the last segment if I'm not dead first. Now this is going to be really hard because it's just 2 seconds. I will play it multiple times. If you ask before I even play, it's not Pulp Fiction, but if you put a movie up before I even do it, you're automatically disqualified. Bull Durham, that's a great movie, but no, it's not that. Are we ready? Okay. It's not Jaws either. That's an email that Tuba Steve 42 has subscribed to me. Yeah, they're coming in like crazy. Okay, so I am going to push play. I don't know how good this is going to sound on the computer. Or really? On the stream. Because I'm playing it through my computer speakers. I don't know. I'm going to turn this up because the speakers are on the bottom. I need you to tell me. I'm going to laugh and it's going to make me cough. I need you to tell me what movie this is from. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1.
That's a huge bitch.
Did that come through? I'm going to play it again. Hold on.
That's a huge bitch. That's a huge bitch.
Oh, God. There it is. Scott Knack got it. Oh, that was so quick. I thought I was going to stump people on it. Let's see how many people get it. Deuce Bigelow. Oh, my God. Deuce. Oh, they're all coming in now. Look at all of my movie friends. Look at all these people. Happy Gilmore. Good guess, Jeff, but no. Friday. No, another good guess. Oh, look at this. This is fun. Coming to America. Lots of good clips that can be taken from that. But no, that's not it. I'm old and type slow. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Uh-oh.
That's a huge bitch. That's a huge bitch.
I'm sorry. I can't take it. It's just too much for me. Okay, so... If you're not familiar, so Scott Knack, you are the one, right? Isn't that who I said? Yep. So email me, kgtropicals@gmail.com. Anybody else that emails me other than the person who won earlier, you are mean person. Scott Knack, email me. As long as you live in the United States, we're good to go. I'll send you whichever one you want. Whew. If you're unfamiliar with that movie, Deuce Bigelow is played by, I'm completely drawing a blank. Rob, come on, people. Shame on me. It's the coughing that is, it's making me forget. Rob Schneider, for God's sakes. Rob Schneider plays a guy that is a fake gigolo. A gigolo would be a male prostitute, and he responds to all of these dates, and one of them is a woman that's from Norway, and she's like 8 feet tall, and they're walking down the streets of San Francisco, and she's talking about how wonderful everybody is in America, and they're all so friendly, and you hear people in the background while she's saying all of these things, and they're saying freak, and they're yelling all of these horrible things. And then that guy, you hear the guy say, that's a huge bitch. And it's the funniest thing. I piss my pants every time I see it. And so I thought that would be a good one. And it's surprising to me. I am so proud of you, KG Tropicals people. So many people knew the answer to that. That is so cool. So awesome. Love it. So congratulations to the 2 people that won. I'm glad to send these out to you. It'll be a lot of fun. So just email me. You may have already, but I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to stop this stream and probably go to the emergency room. No, I'm just joking. I am going to have to catch my breath. And so I probably will not answer you tonight, but email me and I will definitely get those out to you. I promise. But don't be offended if you don't hear back from me till tomorrow. So, all right. Let's get into Game of Thrones and Endgame. The John's World segment. Let me watch the numbers. I'm not going to spoil anything, folks, because I'm not that guy. I don't do that stuff. So don't leave thinking, oh, I don't want him to spoil the movie for me. I know there's a lot of jerks out there that have been doing it. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do John's World for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to cut this off because I'm afraid I might die. And then a super chat comes in from the Unfiltered Aquarius. Thank you, sir. You've become a huge supporter of the channel. Feel better, sir. I feel fine. It's one of those things where you're trying to put on a show and you just never have time to take a deep breath. So there's really only one thing that needs to be said about Avengers Endgame. Oh, the tattoo came up again. All right. Okay, here's the thing. I haven't run this by Lisa yet. I talked about that with 50,000. I talked about get the KG Tropicals logo tattooed on my arm. I've thought about perhaps taking that a step further and doing the KG Tropicals logo with an arowana wrapped around it. A silver arowana. So we'll see about that. Lisa puts up the thinking emoji. You know, I've got one right now. I love tattoos, but you know, we'll have to see. But I would love to do that, like, you know, the whole upper arm. Something like that would probably be a couple of sittings, but I've got a good friend that's a really talented tattoo artist. So I don't think, Jane, I would do a red arowana. And here's why. I'll never have one of those. The silver arowana is what got me interested in fish keeping. So if it wasn't for, I know I'm getting all cheesy here, but if it wasn't for silver arowanas, there would be no KG Tropicals. If there was no KG Tropicals, there would be no need for me to get this silly thing tattooed on my arm. So it's kind of like paying homage to the thing that got me here. I know African cichlids are what got me on YouTube, but it was silver arowanas that got me to fill up a glass box full of water. So, okay. This is all I'm going to say about Endgame. It was absolute cinematic perfection. If I was a movie reviewer, that would be my review. That was as perfect of a movie as I've ever seen. And I was telling Lisa when we were leaving the theater, I said, I can't talk right now. I said, we'll talk about this when we get out to the car, because I can't talk right now. I was in a weird place. And if you've seen the movie, you know why. So we got out there and I told her that. I said, this might not only be, it's my favorite superhero movie by far, but it might be my favorite movie of all time. I'm just being honest. Now, of course, I am biased. It would be like if they made a movie about silver arowanas. You think I wouldn't love that movie? Of course I would. It is a masterpiece. It literally is. If you have not seen it, for the 3 people that haven't seen it, there is a reason why this movie is the biggest movie ever. It's the reason why it's breaking all of the records. It's a end game changer. It's a game changer. It really is. And if you are a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you've been watching from way back when they tried to do Fantastic Four, and then they started doing X-Men, and then all of a sudden Iron Man came along, and Jon Favreau introduced us to a whole new universe, and then all of a sudden we get Cap's first movie, if you followed along with that, this movie is perfect. I would complain about nothing in there. Okay? Nothing. I'm a fan of Ben Shapiro. I know, he's extreme. I'm a fan of a lot of people that are on both sides of the political spectrum. But I'm a fan of Ben Shapiro. I got a lot of respect for that guy. And I watched a video from him today complaining about the movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he had a huge problem with Thor in the movie, which I thought was probably the best part of the movie. He had a lot of issues with it, but I think that's his job, is to be upset with things. But yeah, that movie, it was perfection on the screen. And Lisa and I we sat there. We were like 4th row from the screen and over to the side. So we were like, oh, there's Thanos, and oh, there's Tony. You got to look back and forth. Like it was not the best location of the seats, but they were full recliners in this theater. It was beautiful. I've actually thought about going back and seeing it again in a better seat. And I would do that. 3-hour movie, I would sit through it, no problem, because I did miss about 45 seconds when I ran out to go to the bathroom and come back. And I got to go see those 45 seconds. So, but anyway, that movie is as close to perfect as I've ever seen. And I've been a movie fanatic ever since birth. I mean, my mom brought me up as a movie fanatic and a stand-up comedy fanatic, and I am still, to this day, a fanatic of all of those things. Did he die on the 30th? I thought somebody said he died today. I talked about that in the beginning, Diane, paying tribute to Chewbacca. But yeah, that is very, very sad. So now Game of Thrones, Lisa, she may admit this, she may not. She would not watch that show if it wasn't for me. I introduced her to that show after watching one episode, the first episode, the pilot episode on HBO. When it first aired, I watched it. I TiVo'd it. Remember that? And her and I weren't living together at the time. And I said, come over here, watch this show. I think you're going to like it. She liked it. We've been watching it ever since. It is the only show other than Walking Dead that we watch the night of. Other than that, we watch anything whenever we want. That episode, the last episode, again, no spoilers, incredible, but frustrating too. I can't give things away. I won't do that. Hi, it's me again. GZ on New Fisherman. I think you're saying, is that a way of saying congrats? Thank you. I might delete this stream. I don't know, because it's been a disaster because I've been having a coughing fit this whole time. But that episode, I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I like where they went with that episode. I understand why they did what they did in that episode. We've got half the season left, and now we got to deal with the other thing. I get it, and that's great. I like the way they did it. I liked a lot of that episode. There was a couple of little things that bothered me about that episode, but I still loved it. I hate Bran Stark. I just hate him. The character pisses me off because he's so bland and boring and dull, and I want to go to sleep when I look at him. I'm not saying the actor's bad. He's fine. But man, why did they have to make that character so boring? And what was he doing the whole time in that episode? Anyway, folks, this has been a ton of fun. It has not been at all the way I expected it to be, because I was not expecting to be rushed to the hospital during it. But I'm joking around. It's really not that bad. When I stop talking, I'm going to take a few deep breaths and I'll be fine. It's nothing to be alarmed over. But I was expecting this episode or this stream to be a little smoother, but I don't know. The next week's stream, I don't know about that one either. I have to do a thing for work tomorrow. I have to go to North Carolina. David and I have to go Wednesday night to North Carolina and be in North Carolina on Thursday till about 2 o'clock. The place that I'm going is about 5.5 hours away from me. So if we leave there at 2, which we probably won't, 5.5 hours, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream next Thursday. We'll have to see. I didn't choose to go down there this day. It was just the only thing. It's the only time that's available. It's a meeting. It's a corporate meeting for my big boy job. And I had no choice. But, they told me this is the day it is. You got to be down here. And so now I'm going down there. So I don't know what's going to happen next week. And now that, we're winding things down, I will tell you with 10 things is the priority. We all know that. See, Lisa, you could do it. I'll show you how to do it. All you got to do is click a button. 10 things is the priority on this channel. Everybody knows that. You ought to know it's doing very well. I'm actually very happy, and I enjoy doing that series very much. I'm going to start mixing things up on that series. Maybe cancel out the green screen on some of the stuff and do a little bit more things with it. I'm enjoying that series a lot, and I like it. So those two are definitely the priority. No offense. I love hanging out with you people, and it's been beautiful here tonight. I've had a blast. But when you look at it from a YouTube standpoint, and just looking at numbers, not nearly as many people watch these as the others. And it makes sense. They're like an hour and a half long. Who wants to watch that? Especially watching this guy talk and cough and all this kind of stuff. So with the new fish room getting built and working a full-time job and everything else, something's probably going to have to give, because not only am I going to be building that fish room, but I'm also going to be doing videos on that. And I don't think YouTube could tolerate 4 videos from John every week. 4 videos from Lisa, they'd probably welcome that. But 4 videos from me, I think YouTube would turn on me pretty quick. They'd be like, we're sick of this guy. Get him off. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But I feel like if I was to introduce a 4th video every week, which would be, you'd have 10 things, you'd have You Ought to Know, then you'd have the stream, and then a video about the fish room, I feel like that would be too much. And I don't want people to burn out on me, and I don't want to burn out myself. So Tank Talk might go on a temporary hiatus while we're building this fish room. Not permanent. It would not be permanent. Maybe we would go to maybe once a month while building the fish room. And then when that's up and running and we're up to speed, then maybe I would start streaming again. The problem is I'm going to want to stream from out there. Wouldn't that be gorgeous to have a 400-gallon tank behind me and a 240 behind me and Oscars and arowanas? It would be beautiful. But I don't know that I'd be able to do that, because I would need to take my computer out there, and I'm not going to do that. If I could get a new computer, if I could get Lisa to green light a new computer for editing, which this computer that I have is perfectly fine for editing, but I upgrade it. You can never not upgrade. Upgrade this computer and then take this one out there and use that as a streaming machine. Maybe we could do that. But I don't know. As of now, I'm repeating myself because I said all this last week at the very end of the stream. If I was going to stream out there now, I would have to do it on my phone, and that would be terrible. So we'll figure all those things out. It might end up looking like I'm totally copying Corey, because I'll have a bookcase behind me with just my collectible stuff on it and nothing about KG Tropicals. And it would, everybody be like, well, the only reason he's doing that is because that's what Corey did. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I would love to stream out there when it's all done. I just don't know that we can pull it off. Not yet anyway. Maybe someday. So anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for sticking with me. I mean, I probably would not have watched this. I would have probably been like, you know what? Not tonight. I don't want to listen to this guy cough all night long. But it has been a lot of fun. Even though I was having a fit, it was a lot of fun. And let me do a quick little skim through here to make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything like that. And I think no, because there's no circles up at the top. Yeah, I am totally caught up on those. A bigger bookcase. Put a row of canister filters behind you. Corey would never do that. That, my friend, is the comment of the night, because you're absolutely right. Corey would never do that. He would be so offended by that. But no, this room right here is going to just become a room that I have my collectible stuff that is not fish keeping. I collect, I can't see myself. Here I am. I collect bobbleheads, which you can't really see. I've got a lot of superhero stuff, and I've got a lot of duck stuff. I got a picture from Lisa with the ducks. You see the ducks, and I've got Coca-Cola stuff and all, just my collectible stuff. That's what's going to be in here. And Lou. Lou will be here too. Everything else will be out there. So Jimmy's picture, Priscilla's picture. We've got another Jimmy picture over there that, shame on Lisa, she hasn't hung it up yet. Those will all go out into the fish room. The Sam Scales pictures will go out into the fish room. Fish-related stuff will go out there, but everything else in here is going to be my stuff. So that's what you'd be looking at in the streams. I mean, people might complain. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, folks, this has been a blast. I suppose I could do the green screen thing like Bob does too. Maybe that would work. But one last time before I sign off. Oh, where'd it go? I lost it. It's gone. Oh.
That's a huge bitch.
Isn't it priceless? I love it. It's just so wonderful. It's so funny. You all have been so much fun tonight. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am going to go take a deep breath. And I think probably next time we speak, we'll probably be a member of that 100,000 subscriber club. And I don't even know how to put to words what that's going to feel like. Lisa said earlier, she said, yeah, I'm looking at the numbers and I'm seeing it, and we're probably going to get to 100,000 in the middle of the night between Friday and Saturday night. We should just stay up all night. I'm like, love my subscribers, but no, I'll see it in the morning. But yeah, that's going to be an exciting thing. I don't think I'm going to do a 100,000 subscriber live stream. I'll probably do one when the silver play button comes in, whenever that comes in. But yeah, I don't even know, did Rachel even get hers yet? I mean, it takes a while for them to come in. But I will be thrilled to be a member of that club. I don't think I never thought that would ever happen. So it's I say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you. It really does mean a lot. And it means a lot, too, that you would come in here and hang out with me, and there would still be 100 and something people watching, even though I'm taking 20 minutes to say goodbye. It means a lot. And so there you go. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me and tolerating me tonight. It's been an adventure. Can't wait to start sharing the garage with you. It's going to be fun. So, but it's probably going to be a few weeks before you start seeing videos on that. So anyway, I am out of here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully. I don't know. I'll let you know in the community page.